Alright, people. How we doing out there today? You must stand, behave, and act right. And don't you think about any trouble today, mister. Alright. Got an interesting day today. I got a very interesting day today. First things first. My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG Infusion Light Energy Gain Technology Screens. And we got a lot of work today. A lot of work today. Excuse me. Where are my yellow frames at? Over there. I lost those things at one point. Let's get them back. I do not want to lose my frames again. Alright, so a lot to do. What are we doing today? Well, first things first, I have to build a makeshift screen for right now for a batch number verification, which has to be done for orders. I also have to be down City Hall today because I have to go in there and apply for several licenses underneath to go to that new showroom. I want to be showing off our technology in, which I can't wait for that. Just some video uploads and over on the other sites sharing the same videos we have here over there, and I'm gonna have to do probably about 5 separate videos a day to put on the website to update the website again. So it's gonna be a busy day today, back and forth to City Hall, got a couple places to be at. I do want to pick up a bigger surface, so I want a bigger white surface that we can paint, probably put a design on it so it stands out with our technology. And I think I have stencils in here because I could have swore I went out and bought a whole bunch of stencils. No, I did. I think I took them with me. I did. So I'm in here trying to track those down. So I do want to do some stencil artwork involving our products. Because I think that would make an incredible demonstration on how advanced our screen paints are on how they activate. Let me get this going right here, right now. There we go. I was over on Steam, showing off some gaming demonstrations on the technology, showing how the reaction time functions and works. And I'm running this right now. Why? I'm looking for my sensor. So, this paint we have here is one of the best screen paints we ever developed. This right here is our ILEG Infusion Light Energy Gain Ultimate Black Cinematic. It is absolutely gorgeous, as you can see. And we have an overlap screen, which means we're showing that the difference between our product and an everyday white screen. Now, for some people who say at the end of the day, well, it's not the same as an act. Yes, it is. I have certified white screens here. I have done this already before on a forum site with involving white screens where they make statements that, you know, it's a difference. I'm like, no, there's not a difference. I've seen white high performance screens. I've seen t-shirts and bed sheets all match. I've done this one dozens of times. There's no real difference, to tell you the truth, honestly. I never could understand that. When they sell white projection screen, they make it sound like you're going to get something different from a white t-shirt. It just isn't. Same thing. No difference, to tell you the truth. And I've had high-grade certified screens in here. No difference whatsoever. Now, I got this promo I'm going to do showing you of screens that were claiming to be ambient rejection technology at one point, because they were in areas claiming to be ambient rejection, and technically they were not ambient rejection. One is the Frankenstein. We have dozens of pictures on that. I told you about that. Now missing, can't find the pictures, but we do have them. And another one from Phantom HD claiming that the $800 screen from Valva showed a massive difference between that and the white screen. No, it did not. Trust me, we got pictures on everything. We have more forum sites. People talk about them back and forth. That $800 screen from Valve is garbage. You can't tell one from the other. I got pictures of everything. You know, I document everything, right? And at one point, YouTube was allowing you to show picture slideshows, but now we can do it again. So we got a whole lot of stuff to show you on a lot of things that people try to hide. But yeah, we got evidence on just about everything you can think of. So I'm going to share some stuff with you. And these are, like I told you, the warning of people who lie on products. Got to be careful about that. And make sure you do your research. Make sure they have testing on their products. Make sure they can back them up 100%. If they can't back these products up 100%, you're going to run the risk of getting a screen in there that is just going to be downright awful. Let me allow this to continue to play through. And while I'm looking for the rest of my stencils, I have a whole bunch of stencils. I don't care what it says. I just want some random design on my screen. That's what I want. I'm trying to figure out where I put these things at. Alright, got some here. Here. So I like to do demonstrations that no one else is doing. I try to do things way outside the box. That's what I aim for when I'm doing my demonstrations. Something that other people are not going to do. Now I've seen the demonstrations, the benefit of a white screen for this, and the benefit of a white screen for that. Problem is that the screen that's supposed to be giving you the benefit is actually sitting in a dark environment. I don't even know how that one even works. If you're trying to upgrade and you have to be in the dark for your colors to work, then that means you haven't got any benefits whatsoever. You're still in the same dark environment as the white screen. White screens have to stay in the dark in order to work. Another one. So that's how it works for them. They have to be in the dark in order to work. It ain't much of an upgrade. You've got to be in the same environment as the white screen. Another thing I cannot express enough in demonstrations is contrast. People literally want to skip the entire section of contrast altogether and say, oh, you don't need it. No, I don't even know how that even works. If you're watching Darth Vader or anything involved in any kind of heavy contrast, gaming, Call of Duty, night missions, stuff like that, we're just going to skip that entire section and just go with, it's gray, it works. I don't know. You're not getting what you paid for out of your projector. And on top of that, like I said before, you still are not getting those dark colors because you're going to have to get dark colors. I mean, a requirement. Definitely you're going to need those dark colors. It's very important that your screen sees everything. So when we show off our demonstration, sorry people, I'm hunting for something. There you go, here's the rest of them. I was wondering if we had more of these things. When we show off our demonstration, the benefits of our technology versus the white screen, we can do this in full lit environments, which I'm about to turn my lights on in a few minutes. Man, getting all these stencils. This one's gonna lay flat. This is going to be a problem. Probably going to go all the way over to family over there to pick up what I'm going to need from there for my large screen. Because I want to do a larger screen with a splatter effect. And in the setup I'm about to get, I'm definitely doing a whole setup with the screen, showing our product, showing massive difference between white and our black technology. And then, you know, when we get in there, we're definitely going to get, hey, what's the difference between your product and black paint? I can't wait to get that one. I love doing those. I love doing them. Like I said, this is the reason why, if you haven't done any of these tests, you run a very high risk of someone coming in and saying, hey, I have great paint in my garage. I have great paint. We just got finished using great paint. Yeah, what's the difference between that and Home Depot? Boy, you better get your stuff tested. If you think for a hot second that question will come up, yes, it will. It ain't like YouTube or somebody sends you a message, you just ignore it. You're right there in your face when they ask you that question in front of a bunch of other people. Oh, there's another one right here. Alright, I want to do that. I had more than this. I think I had some of them. This might have been one for the store. I think the other ones might be in multi-storage unit. There's another one right there. I'm going to do some big cinemas too. I think this is one. This is a whole bunch of them. Yay! Got a whole bunch of them right there. These will come in handy one day. I bought these for one of the screens I was designing for the Mario Brothers RetroPie screen, and I need to spell something out. I wanted to look professional, so I got stencils. And I'll use these stencils for something. When we do our splatter screens, we do some real professional writing on there. And anything that's coded in with our technology is the only thing that works. Yeah, here we go. This is where the rest of them are. I was right at them the whole entire time. Did not see them. So quite a bit of running around to do today. A lot of work I have to do today. Definitely going to get my walk in. But I got a lot of places I got to go, and I got several different licenses I have to acquire today. And I'm going to make a trip down to that area. None of this will be on recording. As I said before, I want to keep that separately. Now, through some requests, I decided we're going to put 3 screens on the website. That's it. And everything else will just be off. That'll be it. We'll do 3 screens. Yeah. And the rest of them will be over on, because I think I'm only going to do for a start 3 screens here, and I'm going to do probably 10 over there, because they're going to grow pretty quickly. 10 over there. Bound. 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 Oh no, that's what you're asking for today. It's treat time, man. It is treat time. Here, crackety cracks in the background with the treaty treats. Where are the treaty treats? Here you go. Here's the treaty treats, buddy. You had the crackling in the back bacon like, wow. We need some more today, so we get another set. I know you like these, but I'm gonna get the big bag. There you go. Hey, oh yeah. Little treaty treats. Help his teeth stay nice and white. Give him a treat. Keep it nice. Yep. So I'm going to acquire about my licenses today, which should be no problem because I did all my paperwork. So I was sitting over in the laundry room getting all my paperwork done, so I can do this today. All right, you got an H. You got a 1. You got a 6. E. E. J. Oops, come back here. Did you go that quick? DJ. Okay. Let's see. Come on up. Hey. So numbers. Letters. U. So numbers. Here. W. Numbers.
What's your secret? How can we offer this nationally recognized mattress for such a low price every day? Easy, Marcus.
And see, you can bring out a nice bright colors. We don't have to go switch to just contrast. Some people, when they do these demonstrations, they'll switch to just strictly contrast only, because they know the contrast is going to pull better on their screen because it's darker. Got to do everything. Got to do white levels. Got to do color levels. All that stuff has to be done. We did this outside on a Supreme 8 on a projector. Same thing, split it right down the middle. So when we do this screen, we're going to do a half and half. One side of it's going to be half gray and half white. The other side is going to be straight white. The side we're pretty much going to be using the most in our demonstrations out there, it's going to be white screens. That's what we're going to bump into. We're going to bump into the gray screens out there. It's rare we even see a gray screen out there. Everybody has white screens. So online, different story. Online, this is where we do a lot of gray and white screens. So if you see both online. And this is where we deal with the fibbers. The fibbers online that will tell you that you're going to receive a 100% contrast level when using our gray screen product. No. You will not be seeing a 100% contrast level. That's virtually impossible. You gotta stop lying. Gotta stop lying. Love to see that one. Yeah, I think I had this conversation a few times with a few projection screen companies that claimed that you were seeing 100% contrast. Please show me this. That's why I said if that was possible, here's your fish, man. Probably wouldn't find it because it's in the drawer. That's why I said if it's possible, I would see so many demonstrations of these gray screens and white screens, fully lit environments showing nothing but black levels. I'm not talking about something where you have a whole lot of color with some black and it says peasant. No, 100% black. You should pull that screen right up with no problem. We never see that. I'm gonna start doing more of these videos because we flood. Our stuff goes everywhere, so we need to put more notifications everywhere. Google, Bing, Yahoo. We're gonna put these notifications up showing, can you see this gray screen? Because literally they're the only ones making the statement that they're actually seeing black. So every time you pop up on YouTube or any other search engine, you're gonna see our videos popping up. Those particular videos, and those particular videos are gonna be challenging any gray screen to show a contrast level. Can't be lying about that, man. I don't go up there and say, hey, my black technology sees 100% white level. That's not going to happen because of the sacrifice field. That's why. That is why, because of the sacrifice field. Yeah, because of the sacrifice field, that's the reason why. Yep. Other than that, gray screens have a habit of saying they read 100% black levels. And the part that gets me, finds it funny, you guys don't test against certified gunmetals. You don't go against the big high-end screens. You never do. Not in a fully lit environment, you won't. So with that being said, how are you claiming to be something that you're not? You also compare yourself a lot to high-grade certified screens by saying that the customers save a lot of money if they buy from you because you're equal to a gunmetal. No, you're not equal to a gunmetal. I know. I tested your stuff. You are so far from a gunmetal screen, it is not even funny. How about this? How about you draw a contract up and challenge one of those big companies in court, post it on YouTube so we all can see it? I bet you won't do that one. Of course you won't, because you're so, a gunmetal screen would tear your stuff up, man. Great screen. I told you, I'm going to Home Depot in about the next 3 weeks. After I'm all locked in, I'm going to pass that idea to them to make their own outdoor grade projection screen paint. Yes, it's opportunity for us. It's not opportunity for gray screens. It's a bad opportunity for you guys because if they make a screen paint, they got everything there. They got the barbecue grills, they got tents, they got gazebos, they got it all there. They sell, even right now, you go to Home Depot, you can buy freaking hot sauce, barbecue sauce, seasoning, everything. They got it all in there. The only thing they're missing in there is a projection screen and projectors. Of course, they're going to buy a bunch of cheap knockoff projectors. Usually that's what most of them do. But if they make a gray paint, you're out of business. You're definitely out of business. But I'm going to put that thought in their head because this is opportunity for us because we can beat that stuff with no problem. And any black paint they have in there, that's opportunity for us. Not opportunity for you. The cause and effect in business. Get them to make a product, get them to make a profit off this for a product, feed all the information they need into their brain on what they need, or look, this is a very popular item, look at the tons of videos on YouTube, you got everything here to make it. We can even give you the ingredients on how to make one. Because it's no threat to us. Gray paint's no threat to us. We can give them ingredients, we can make this stuff. So you can't tell what's your profession in gray. We go a mile long on that stuff. I can show we made profit off that. We can give them the same idea. Here you go, just give it to you for free. Now why would I give something for free that we can sell? It's not worth selling. And great paint's not worth selling. You give it to them for free. They make that product exactly. They got everything in there to do it, because that's where we got our original form from Home Depot. So they make that product, and they start advertising. You'll see less people buying here, and they'll buy there. And the beautiful thing about it, for us, we have black technology. They don't know how to make black technology. So we can come in, probably about give it 6 months, 7 months, a year, embed it in, and really get them, invest the money into this, and then come in and take their product out. Now, if they want the more advanced product and they want to continue to make that cash flow, they got to buy through us. See, that's what I mean by at the end of the day, that these guys that get on YouTube and you rant and carry, you don't know how to conduct business. I mean, anybody can cook food. You gotta know how to run a business, make money. You guys don't have that. What about your McCollum said he made a statement that I could basically sell popsicles to an Eskimo? I can. I got skill levels like that. I know how to sell a product. I know how to market it. I do all my customized labels. I build my own website. I actually did my search engine optimizer. I did an advancement on my search engine. I do coding on my website. I do all that stuff. It's one of the benefits of basically having computer skills. I did all that stuff, everything. I'm even designing right now my digital cards. I know paperwork because I research and study everything. I know all types of documents. As a matter of fact, I'm about to do 2 documents a day. I'm getting my vendor's license today, and I'm getting another special license that I need in Pennsylvania to do a certain type of business, which I'm not going to mention right now. But I know all that stuff. You got somebody can't even basically fill out a basic LLC. You know how easy it is to fill out an LLC? It is extremely easy. You just can't lie in any of the applications. That's what it comes down to. Can't lie in the application. You're signing government documents. That's all to it. EIN number, business tax wholesale number, tax identification ID numbers, all that stuff. You have to be honest in those. You can't be lying in those things, because that stuff will come back and bite you in the face. I think some people believe at the end of the day, once they file this paperwork, it'll never come back. Or they do come back. They come back once a month. Some come back once a year. So you're going to have to file them out correctly. Let me see what we got going here. I'm building a new screen today. I'm looking for all my stencils. I'm going to do my new screen with stencil designs on them, so that way we can have anything that shows up, anything that's hit with our technology, the only thing that reads. I want to do these designs, these advertisements for our technology, like, you know, love your screen, you know what I mean, most superior products, which means it'll be spelled out most superior product when the R is short, next to a white and gray screen. Do my advertising different. Let's see. The perfect black OLED. We gotta write that down, didn't we? Oh, and just so you know that if you want to go into any of these facilities, and sell anything, even a flea market, they got to know what your stuff is. Okay, make sure you're in there selling bootleg, somebody else's merchandise, copy. They can't have that because they can be sued in the process of this mess. So they got to know what you're selling and what it's all about. And then you have to see, some of these places require you to do an interview presentation before you can actually get the booth. So you got to show this stuff works. Can't darken environments in those places. Everybody has the same amount of light. That's why we have to bring in extra light for our equipment, because the lighting they have in there is way too easy for our technology. I get bored. I'm bringing a halo system in. 2 things people see when it comes to projection screens: dark environments. They're not used to seeing them in well-lit environments, and the screen's always white. Our technology is black, and we can operate in fully lit environments with a 6,000 or 12,000 K halo system built into the light system, into the screen. It stands out. Because now, the possibility of replacing your TV now with our technology can happen. The only reason why people don't want to go near projection screens is because they want to be in the dark. Now, for gray screens, go over to the OLED form site. Have a conversation with them and convince them that your gray screen paint, I don't care who you are, but your gray screen paint is worth replacing their OLED TV. You think you can get them to buy your screen paint? I'm going to tell you can't. Because the first thing they're going to say to you is that I can read a 100% black level on my screen. You can't give me that. I can do this in a fully lit environment. You can't do that for me. I'm just going to require me expensive projectors to try to come close to fixing the problem, and I still won't be able to reach the level of a TV. Lights out. You don't function. It's even worse. Think of my table. All the bright light that's around the screen, that's the white surface reflecting. Our surface absorbs. So even in the dark, it doesn't even work. People lie to themselves and say, well, I'm going to be in the dark anyway. I'm really going to see a difference. There's a massive difference between our technology and a white screen in a dark environment. There's a massive difference between our product and a gray screen. So next to our technology, that's literally how much your projector is gaining. If you're operating a white screen on this projector, that's how much you lost. And that's a lot. That's why we on camera, you make that statement that just because you're in the dark, you think you're really seeing color. You're not seeing any of that. When I look at your screen, you see that white area? That's what I see. I literally see it coming off your projector. That's how I see it. You don't pick it up. You don't see it. The first red flag that should have popped up, that you should have saw, the fact that you can't read the 100% black level. That's the first thing you should have picked up on. First sign that should have came to you is that black level. See, when it comes to our technology, I can't speak for everybody else. I can't. Because y'all don't test our stuff. When we do a presentation, what's the difference between our technology and the white screen? We show a massive outstanding level. Now sitting in the dark with a gray screen versus a white screen, come out, look, you gotta be that close to the screen to see the difference. And you're really not seeing a massive difference between night and day. That's all that. Demonstration called the benefit of a white screen versus a gray screen. I sat back and I watched that demonstration. I watched that person go over and turn out 2 lights. I'm like, why you turn the lights out? He turned out both lights and did the demonstration in the dark. You know why? The screen won't work with the lights on. So like we have in this environment, we're at roughly 12,000 lumens and a ceiling. See my desk? At 300 lumens right now on our projector. I'm using a Cumi projector portable, and we are using 300 lumens. At 300 lumens, my projector sits back farther than a 3,000 lumen ultra short throw projector that kisses the screen at less than a foot. Consider that. Watch this. That's what we're going to have in the showroom. With that little projector. And for those people saying, but does it work on it? No. Look at all that blocking. You can't read that. If you go on YouTube right now, you look up ambient light rejection technology. We come up. In our demonstrations, we're in fully lit environments when we're doing these demonstrations. Everybody else is sitting in dark environments with some little lights splashed in the corner, the birthday cake effect. Screens blocking windows, and they still turn the blinds down. But we're in a fully lit environment. Not by my standards, you're not. We're not in a fully lit environment. No, anything. And a birthday cake effect. Everybody's had a birthday. You know how dark is it a birthday? Get the little cakes flashing there. Everybody's singing happy birthday to you. That's your environment. I'm going to shoot me a couple of these shorts for the lit environment. Post these on other sites. Comes down to one thing. Gray screens can't possess ambient light rejection technology. You don't have it. Don't read contrast. You don't have it. Don't read color. You can't have it. White screens have the same problem. Can't read color. Can't read contrast. Not ambient light rejection technology. You don't have it. You got a white screen, you're getting less than 50%. You got a gray screen, you are getting 50%. And for those of you saying that you're not, well, why are your videos in the dark? Now that video I'm going to shoot, that black technology we have over there, we're going to go on YouTube, we're going to dig your video up, and we're going to broadcast it on my black screen over here. And see if you can match my environment. I'll watch your demonstration in a dark environment while I'll be in a fully lit environment. That's how we're going to do them on YouTube. Whatever videos we show, we challenge you to show me. Show me what that projector's worth. Show me a fully lit environment demonstration. Influencers are doing these fake demonstrations, and you do. Dark environments, always. Show me otherwise. Show me that projector. If you're doing a video on that projector, show me. Fully lit environment, I want to see a starfield pop off that thing. We'll challenge our videos. Feel free to challenge ours. I have no problem with that. As you can see. That's why they're in the dark right now doing a review on a projector in a super dark environment with some God knows what kind of light going on in the back of a corner, who knows what. We do this. What we got here for time? Not birdie. Birdie! We need to put a challenge out for all gray screens. I guess these forum sites are freaking unbelievably in denial. I think we're going to start out advertising for gray and white screens. We already did enough online. We're going to do it offline. Educate the masses, and they can see the difference between the two technologies. The problem with gray screen, you're trying to compare yourself to us. You're trying to say you're us. We need to put you in your place. You are not us in any way whatsoever. I never seen anything like in a dark environment thinking you're no. And those of you think you're making black technology correctly, please stop that. You don't have enough testing to do black technology. Black technology requires a ton of testing. You see the stuff we have to do with this screen. If you're not matching the same energy we're putting out with this screen, we do our testing, don't even buy that mess at the end of the day. You're going to end up like the other guy who made that weird paint he made, and that stuff came out gray every single time. And you got a black screen coming out gray, and still couldn't explain what the game was on that thing. You got to back that part up, you know that, right? You got to show it actually does what you claim it does. And again, I never heard what he claimed it did either. That's another thing too. We never heard that, oh, it absorbs this or it takes in that. Never seen any demonstrations, no tests. Can't make accusations on something that doesn't exist. How would it even work? You call that the entertainment room you got in there fully lit? That's not fully lit. In here it's fully lit. We're at 24,000 in the ceiling of here. Mind you, my lights in here are actually 3 inches from the ceiling, so they're right on top of my desk. They'll be in that environment, they'll have the freaking blind shut, screen sitting on the floor. You know why screens sit on the floor? I tell people that trick. They sit screens on the floor because it bypasses any window light and the blinds are pulled all the way down. They use light blinds, so it looks like there's light pushing through, but technically there's no light pushing through. When you have the shades coming down. When they're doing the blinds are always on a slant, which you saw in McAfee's demonstration when he was trying to do that demonstration, and the screens for some reason were pushed upward toward the ceiling and the other ones were pushing straight. He was redirecting the light in a different direction. That's what he was doing. We're trying to say the light was hitting the ceiling and spreading around the environment. If you don't stop that dumb nonsense from the door, my goodness. That's pretty sad. Hey, do you think everybody was born yesterday? When you do stuff like that, it's an insult to your customer. Look at that. See that impressive image? White screen's not picking nothing up. When I get asked this all the time from people who are doing business stuff, what is the benefit of your product on a white screen? How much of an improvement, how much of a change are we going to see if we apply this to a surface? Look at that. This technology is so advanced, the other white screen doesn't even exist. That's what you have to show when you do a demonstration of a benefit of your product versus a white screen. And do not turn lights out. Because that's the worst thing you want to do. I would walk out of somebody's show booth if they came and turned lights out. I'd be like, wait a minute, but that's the whole purpose. I mean, basically, buying the product so I can use it in a fully lit environment. Why are you turning out lights? And I give you some poor excuse. Well, the lights are turned off to enhance the experience of shut up. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Come on, man. Don't give me that crap at the end of the day. I know what I'm talking about here. Why the lights out? I'll be blunt with you right from the door. You can't feed that crap to me. What do you think, I'm an idiot? You got an ambient light rejection technology screen sitting over there. A projector that probably cost roughly about 10, 20 grand. And you're sitting in the dark with that thing? You can't feed that crap to me. That's the problem I have with Valve. Valve tried to feed that crap to me at the end of the day. Well, you know, so and the molecular structure of the protein map of the blah. I said, man, cut that nonsense out, man. Be real with me. What's the base of this projector? What's the resolution base of the projector? You knew what I was talking about. Resolution base. Where's the base at? If it's not 4K, native 4K, where does this thing rest at? Is it 720p? Is it 1080p? What is the base of the projector before the shifting begins? What is it? Everybody else in there was all freaking a bright-eyed bushy tail. Oh my goodness, that's 4K? That's amazing. I can't wait to get one. Yeah, easy. They got y'all so easy. I'm the only one in there arguing with them. Back and forth. I'm like, no. I didn't ask you all that. You can't even give me a basic resolution count on how many pixels that you're using to equal to get 4K. You're in there talking about, oh, it just does 4K. I've been in their phones, I could have snapped a picture and brought it back on their website. It just says 4K. It doesn't give me a resolution pixel count. What's the pixel count of this thing? What's the basic format of your projector? What is it basically producing before it reaches the 4K pixelation line? I had that question 4 or 5 times and they ran out of ideas and finally told me. It's 1080p base. There you go, thank you. So basically, I just paid for an over-glorified 1080p projector that if I got an Optima GT 5500, I'd be actually much higher than this projector right here. And 5500s do 20,000 to 1 contrast at 3,600 lumens. I had both of them. So I bought a 1080p projector at $3,700 if I paid for the Valve, and then turned around and it's a 1080p base, which is the other one is a 1080p base too, but the difference is that the Optima is going to give me 20,000 or 22,000 to 1 contrast, and this one's giving me 4,000. What the frick am I doing with 4,000 on a projector that's supposed to be a newer model? 4,000 pops up on projectors of 2011, 2010, 2012 models. You should never have a 4,000 on a projector today. I had that whole conversation with the guy. Why is the contrast so low? If your screens, and I told you this is going to happen, they're going to start developing their own screens. If your screen is gray or white, it's not dark. I've never seen any companies like Black Diamond, Elite Screens, none of them ever use one of those projectors in any of their demonstrations. They'll go with Sony, they'll go with Optima, they'll go with JD, they go with them at the end of the day, but they don't put those projectors. Never noticed that? They never use those projectors, ever. Because even they know those projectors are trash, and they don't pick up on the darker screens. They only pick up on lighter screens. You know what else picks up on lighter screens? Those cheap generic projectors that you see for like $13 and $14. They pick up. So that projector you just paid $3,100 can't even read on a dark screen because it won't pick up. And guess what the darker screens are? The darker screens are the professional screens, because people make great paints when I tell you it's them, but no, buddy. It's the darker screens are the professional screens. If that was the case, that means that people marketing those particular screens, they would be the cheaper screens and the lighter screens would be the most expensive ones. The lighter ones are the cheaper ones. So where did you come up with that freaking theory at the end of the day? But you want to make people believe that, no, cut that nonsense out. You're poisoning the system with that trash. Keep it up, that nonsense. Someone will drag you into a courtroom and challenge you. Because people will challenge you in court every day. You lose, and you lose. You lose some money in that process. You really need to stand by what you're saying is true. But anyway, yeah. So, that Valve projector, that thing was a hot mess. A hot mess. And then they lied and said, well, roughly 6,000. I think that's a lie. There's no way in the world that thing is 6,000 lumens. I've watched the demonstrations. When that thing hits the wall, how much light will reflect off your environment off a 6,000 lumen ultra short though projector? You wouldn't even need lights in there anymore. That's how much light would be ricocheting all over the place in there. No way in the world. It couldn't even muster up enough light to even brighten up the side of the walls properly. So we knew roughly it was somebody, if it was luckily, maybe 25, but it was lower than that, it was 1,800. So they lied on that too. Was any of this stuff in the Kickstarter program? Nah. What about them confessing that the projector is 1080p? Was that in the Kickstarter? Nah, it just showed you it was 4K. Ugh, my goodness. Then they banned me from their page. Yeah, I'm used to that kind of stuff anyway. There's too many questions they would have banned us. I couldn't care less. I got the information out there. That's all that matters. And I got GM Go too. I got the projector too. I got another one I hit and got them to confess that the projector was 1080p. Try to give me some DLP chip, redirection, micro nonsense. And man, cut that nonsense out, man. What's your projector's base? And then these guys are online talking about, oh, it's the best projector you can get. That's what Phantom made. She made a mistake crossing my path. Contacted me and said, oh, you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to projector. That projector you got on the floor, the NEC, my projector is more powerful. Oh my goodness. Do we not crack books? Do we not crack a freaking book? Yeah, I sent them over that literature where I got them to admit that the projector was a 1080p base. That was a huge piece of humble pie. It was like the equivalent of trying to swallow that right there without choking. That's literally how large a humble pie he had to swallow. Well, he came back to my channel. He didn't apologize. He was very mad, but I blocked him and moved on. You deal with that. Next time I make statements, crack a book. So that's the pictures I'm going to show you, and a screenshot of the Valve $800 projector matching perfectly to a white screen. There are different form sites we have. And why, when it came to the Frankenstein, why Jamie does not know anything about darker mixes or darker screen paints in any way. He can't tell you to make anything because he doesn't know how to make it. Mind, this is the same person who wrote on what he called a gunmetal paint. He wrote on the container, not ambient light rejection candy, with punctuation marks. The darker screens are supposed to be the ones that actually have the ability to absorb light. And he couldn't even get that to work. So how in the world would you have to make a black technology? You can't even do a gunmetal, which should be much easier than black. But we'll post it today. Remember, Fernando, when you come online and you try to say you make her stuff, man, we've been through this before with you. Remember, it's the same rat race. Everyone think that dementia, Alzheimer's, something's going on. If you don't remember the stuff you do, we're going to put a campaign out on you. And the campaign's going to show you your video of your Frankenstein in a window trying to absorb sunlight and the screen completely washing out. And then what it says to us, where you sent it to us saying it's not ambient light projection, clearly stating you don't know what you're doing. And you tried to market and sell this product to people and you ripped them off. You didn't know what you were doing. So we'll post that right when we get done with this. I got the pictures and everything lined up. Pulled them all out of the library. Set everything up and push it through. I bet you've never seen these pictures of what have you. Yeah. They're the actual Frankenstein. Literally. It was horrible. The red levels, everything. When you see that kind of tannish look to the screen, like on that screen, you lay something against it, has an orangey look to it. Yeah, that tells you right there that your contrast levels are really, really poor. What do we got for time here? All right, you got a stencil, excuse me, a stencil screen done. See about that. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna write down, but why is it when you find stencils, you only find the stuff that you know you will never use? Whew. Oh, they didn't write anything with. I'm gonna check family else if they got some more stencils over there. Well, this is one that Wheel of Fortune. I'd have been in a lot of trouble right now. I need to buy a valve, please. I need to buy a valve. What the heck? Let me see. Jeez. We ain't got no C in here. Can I get a C, Chuck? I need a C. I'd like to buy a valve, please. I like to solve the puzzle. I like to solve the puzzle. I remember back in the day, the game shows used to wear headsets. In the game shows, they wore headsets. They stopped all that because people were cheating. There's a whole lot of stuff going on about that. They did a whole movie about that. About all the scandals that went on with a lot of these game shows when they first started off. And these people were in headsets and they were being fed information. No, I don't do that anymore now.
Early on, we started doing videos. It was weird. Dimensional.
People get up there and I don't know why people don't figure out what the game show thing is all about. You know you have to pay some serious taxes on all that stuff, right? You're not getting that stuff. You know, you get 2 cards, chances are you're selling 1 card just to pay off the taxes on that thing. And then they get tax breaks off all that. So that's why they're so eager to give you stuff away. Like, oh my goodness, you know what? If you guess in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give you this brand new car. Yeah, because you got to pay a ton of taxes on that stuff. And you'll get something out of it, yeah. But you're still going to pay not as much as you think you're going to get out of it, because you're going to pay a ton of taxes. But I don't get how they have it where if you're in California, where most of them are in California anyway, Florida and California, mostly California. Mostly in California. How do people figure out how much does a can of tuna cost? The can of tuna in California is going to be far expensive than it's going to be over here. They're not going to be the same price. So how would you be able to guess that? Somebody from there would easily be able to take that on because they live there. Like New York City. New York City's kind of expensive. Well, New York City is expensive. Depending on what you're buying, it can become expensive. You get an apartment, New York City's always been expensive with apartments. Always. Always. Always been expensive in New York. Beautiful city. I love New York. I'm from New York. I love New York. I like this skyline. You know, so I'm always looking up when I do videos. I always say New York City skyline. I love New York City skyline. So a friend of mine was like, I know that every time you do your videos, you always ask for New York City skyline. Every time. I don't even ask for Philly. I like Philly skyline, but I like New York's better. Go up there and do some ice skating. We're not even rollerblading now. I think this is the only sentence we have, literally. All right, cool. I can deal with that. I'll just do something kooky on there so we're doing it. We can make our own sentence. Look. All right, cool. I'll just use what we got here. I just need some basic letters. Let me see if Family Dollar has something. They got some sensors. I'm gonna get it from there. I want to do like something like projection screen. This is what I mean by the boring scenery. They'll have something really nice, but it'll be nothing boring scenery after that. Jewelry, 4K video demonstration. You got only that much jewelry. I've never even seen this one before. My cat would never let me do that. My cat would kill me. I don't know how people do that in the day. Woman would have using her cat's tail as and her cat's foot as her phone, like boop, 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 boop. And they put up to the cat. You're like, hello, hello. I can't take my hand off and look at that. I'm not called every day for doing something. So really, technically, that's what we're going to be advertising. Now, people get mad and frustrated over this because they find it offends them. Then you got to make a better product. Then you can't just complain and cry every single day. Make a better product. But until then, we're going to keep talking about this. It's the truth. You don't do contrast. You don't pick up color correctly. You're not ambient rejection technology. I'm not going to lie for you. Your stuff don't work. Anybody who does, it's not just one person. Anybody. You function on a gray or white screen. You do not pick up. I don't care what projector you get it now. I don't care how much money you pay for it. You can't read in there. You can't read in the environment. I mean, you can take me to court on this, but this is going to hurt you more than it will ever hurt me. Number one, you're going to have to back up everything that we claim, and you can't do that. So who's going to get hit with a fraud charge? It's going to be you. Like I said, it's like calling the police because somebody stole your bag of weed. You're going to go to jail either way because you're not supposed to have that. So like you can't go on YouTube or any social media site. You can't lie and say your stuff is doing something that it's not. You're not reading this. I don't know, where are they? Brainwashing themselves? Is there a cult of gray screen makers at the end of the day? Is there a cult really involved in this? Because they're just bent on believing, oh, I see a 100% black level. Turn the lights on. Heck, we'll buy yourself. We'll show you stuff don't work. Stop lying to the consumers. You lie to consumers because this is what it comes down to. They want to show at the end of the day that they're better than us. I couldn't care less to tell you the truth. I got bigger fish. You're going to play that little ego game and then you're going to play it in your backyard somewhere. I ain't got time for it. But that's what they want to prove. And they're willing to lie any means necessary to try to compete with us. And you get my attention and I go lean over you. Then now you don't want to be bothered with us. You're going to cancel orders and do all the stuff that you usually do. The running, the crying, the ranting, all that nonsense. Instead of learning from our technology and making darker technology. That's how I did it with Diamond. Believe it or not. I saw the darker technology. Instead of crying and whining about it like a little girl all day long, I went out and made myself a darker product. Unless you don't know how to do it. Because again, I'm explaining something to you about darker screens. They require a ton of testing. No one will touch you unless you have that testing intact. Because people automatically fear that the darker screen is going to come up too dark and it's going to be unwatchable. That's why you have to do all those tests. And those tests have to be done in fully lit environments. Environments that a normal projector will never survive in. You have to do the impossible when you're selling a black technology or gunmetal technology. That's why it's so hard to do those demonstrations. That's why it's scared of doing. And mind you, you'll be doing none of these demonstrations pre-recorded. Everything must be done live. That's why they're afraid of the black technology. So let's stick to the grays. Easier. Well, the problem is that the gray screen is going to be obsolete. I can walk into every forum site involving gray screens, bring this technology with me, and the 15%. I can show a strategy plan with this technology where you can't even read next to mine. I can paint over your screen and improve your contrast levels, your colors, everything, even your ambient light abilities. And then, after giving you the ability to be able to see contrast, to be able to function correctly, I can bring it up 15% and obsolete your entire product line. Just like that, because that screen's a different type of black. That screen is designed to alter, change, and suck the life form out of the screen to make it completely unusable. That means you are now obsolete. Now imagine if I spent my time tackling all the forum sites. Putting them on blast, putting my energy in their direction, say, okay, I'm going to go down and knock out all their gray screens over and over again, to the point they have to ban me. What are you going to ban me for? So tell the truth? That's going to hurt you at the end of the day. Advertise it everywhere. Oh yeah, they banned this for this and that. This is the demonstrations we did over there. No one's going to want doing their gray screen anymore because again, the technology is far better. So before that hits, you need to make a black technology. Unfortunately, the problem you have at the end of the day, you can't make it overnight. It takes time to develop these things. That's what the other would try to do. You try to make some special secret ingredient nonsense. Yeah, where are my tests? Of course, no tests at all whatsoever. Mr. Fernando, since you said our stuff is so easy to make, I told you got letters going out today. But not only that, there's another special letter coming to your front door. We are requesting our black paint again. Since you claim that our product's nothing more than a mixture of black paint, then we look forward to having it. Send it to us. I can't wait to do the demonstration live. Mind you, anything that we take the time out of our schedule to do will come with consequences. It'll come with more jail time and it'll come with more lawsuits. Just so you know. Gave him another opportunity. Okay, where are we going from here? Am I almost done with this? Because I wanted to post those demonstrations so you can see. Now, mind you, you know the crime's going to start with this. Gentlemen, the pictures that we're going to be posting in a few minutes of your products failing miserably. If you get upset, you get angry, you get bitter about this, you out of yourself. You made these demonstrations. Remember, this guy blew up and got upset when we showed how to make the product for free. Remember that? It's his own video. How are you going to snap at us for something that you made? All right, then they're your videos. Did anyone put a gun to your head and say you're forced to do these videos? No, you did it at free will, right? Then don't get upset when we post them. All right, so I'm done here. I got enough videos on what I need to do here. Happy with our product. There's some bright levels. Someone was requesting some bright levels. Get the bright levels with no problem, as usual. For time, almost almost done for time. And I will post these videos, so these videos gotta go on forum sites now, to show you the Frankenstein completely washing out, and the Vivistorm. Yeah, we'll show the Vivistorm. We look like next to a white screen. You couldn't tell one from the other. An $800 screen versus an eBay white screen at $69. You couldn't tell one from the other. That is pretty bad. Alright, let's get these videos uploaded. I got to get a stencil screen done. I got to be at City Hall to get my licenses. I got to take a pass to the other place to check it out. I got another place to look at. And I got to look at some equipment over at Home Depot I'm going to need to bring back to the shop. Hope you enjoyed the video demonstration on our amazing screen paints. And we'll be back in to show those to slideshow. Actually, I'll show the slideshow. I got things to do. Alright, got to go and God bless.